Nowadays, because of time restraints, work commitments, and crippling substance abuse, I'm pretty f***ing happy when I can actually finish a game. It's such a rewarding feeling to come to the end of a narrative or gaming experience and just be like, yeah, I did that, that's me! But there are some out there who look at my paltry achievements and laugh loudly and abrasively, almost rudely in my direction. And before I can think of a slamming your mum joke, they plonk a video on my moist lap showing that they've not only beaten the game, but have done it in an absolutely mental way. So with this in mind, I'm Jules, your Southwest Savage, and these are 8 seriously impressive ways that people have completed popular video games. Number 8. Playing all the instruments at once. Rock Band. Rock Band was a supremely fun experience with friends, all of you just gathering around a TV looking like the saddest people on earth with your tiny plastic instruments, having the time of your absolute lives. Then again, it can also be quite a frustrating time as your friends might have the rhythm skills of a headless sloth, or just refuse to play anything other than Eye of the Motherfucking Tiger over and over again. Well, YouTuber Darth Gollum Kong decided to do away with all of these rogue elements and complete the game by himself, but playing every instrument. Embodying the modern-day one-man band, he manages to play the game better than the average gamer plays just one instrument. The amount of skill that goes into mastering rhythm games alone is immense, but 2 guitars, singing, and drums all at once? He might look like a goof while he does it, but it's still bloody impressive. Number 7. All of Twitch plays Pokemon. Gamers aren't exactly the most cooperative of people. I mean, you just try and convince Peter to let me have a go on his Parappa the Rapper love pillow. It ain't happening. But somehow, despite all of this shared rage, gamers and even non-gamers joined into the global event that was Twitch Plays Pokemon. The idea was simple in premise and hilarious in outcome. The goal was clear, but anarchy reigned throughout much of the playthrough, and legend now speaks of Pokemon released, items dropped, and trainers toppled. There have been many examples of Twitch playing other games, but for the sheer amount of people involved with this, Twitch Plays Pokemon will forever be remembered. Number 6. Playing 3 games at once, Mega Man X, X2, and X3. The original Mega Mans were stupidly hard, and it was a real testament if you could even get through one of them as a kid. So if you heard that somebody was going to try and complete 3 of them at once, you'd know that A, this person was insane, and B, no seriously, this person is insane. But YouTuber F. Agwawa, what the fuck, showcased his speedrun of Mega Man X, X2, and X3 all at the same time, 100%ing them in 43 minutes and 51 seconds, which is, as I've mentioned before, absolutely insane. Watching the level of knowledge being played out is unbelievable, as everything is so perfectly inputted. One mistake would have ruined the other 2 games, so it's a testament to patience and skill. Number 5. Completed in 0 minutes. Pokemon Yellow. Now, this is more of a glitch, but it's still a completely baffling feat to manage to complete a game without any in-game time passing. And whilst it's not as impressive as completing the game with the time properly, the level of intricacy, detail, and sheer luck that goes into glitching this game in this manner is insane. Not to mention the fact that somebody figured this out through trial and error. The glitch essentially involved accessing a bugged Pokemon menu by turning the game off mid-save at the correct time. In doing so, it allows you to use the items to reprogram your game to a certain degree. Each of these items holds information about the game, meaning that if you move them around in the glitched inventory and drop them in the correct amounts, you can trick your game into thinking you've beaten the Elite Four, subsequently getting the insane game time. There are lots of speedruns out there that are impressive in their own right, but this one is just so impressive because of the implication that somebody figured out the minute details and managed to glitch their game in such a way entirely through trial and error. Number 4. Guitar Controller Dark Souls. I love me a bit of Dark Souls. The punishing difficulty and the hard prescription doses of fuck yous speak to my blackened heart. That being said, amongst my friends, only a handful of them have actually beaten the game, their hundreds of deaths proving too much to climb over. Now, I remember how excited I was to lay the final smoting down in Dark Souls 1, but now imagine my horror when I learned that YouTuber GB Bearsley managed to do the same, but using a Rock Band controller. He used this to beat this. Utterly mad. It just boggles the mind how you can map all the buttons properly and still be able to play the game for even 5 minutes. And it also turns out that this guy's managed to complete the game using the Rock Band drums, piano, a dance mat, and even voice commands. This guy is intense. Number 3. 3 games, 3 speedruns, Ocarina of Time, Mario 64, and GoldenEye. So you know before when I spoke about the YouTuber beating 3 Mega Man games at once? Well, this chap decided to take that concept and apply it to 3 completely different games with entirely different mechanics. Mapping all the inputs to one controller, this bad lad still plays them all simultaneously, jumping back and forth between each one. While it would have been insane to see him play them all at the same time, it's an impressive level of skill to do this and complete them all in less than an hour. Number 2. Bananas. Literally bananas. Dark Souls 3. Okay, so this is another Dark Souls entry, but given the use of fruit as a controller, you can see why I've popped it on here. Watching the video is totally baffling, as your brain struggles to understand that what you're seeing is a dude slap fruit to skewer beasts in one of the hardest game franchises out there. It's hard to wonder just what drove a man to think that bananas were the next step in the Dark Souls challenge runs, but then again, seeing as drums, piano, dance mats, and voice commands are all taken, maybe this was the last logical step. Either way, it's a very appealing watch. You're welcome! And number 1, Blind Run, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. This is genuinely brilliant and one of the best examples of impressive ways that people have completed games. A man by the name of Mega T. Garrett has completed The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time completely blind. Now, whilst others have done this blindfolded, he is actually blind, making this even more impressive. Having learnt the game through sound cues, trial and error, and a whole load of patience, he can run the game impressively well. He uses 2 speakers to have directional sound, and he's managed to learn the game inside and out without ever seeing it once. It's absolutely mind-blowing to watch, and hearing him talk about how he visualizes the game world and how he's learnt to play the game is incredible. It's truly inspiring and demonstrates monstrous skill. Top lad. And that's our list. Got any other incredible examples of gaming? Well, let us know about them in the comment section below. And why not swing by whatculture.com for more news and articles like this every goddamn day. As always, I've been RetroJ, aka Jules, you've been awesome, and I'll speak to you soon.